Alright, hey guys, me again, you know who I am. And Revenant is not that great. He has a lot of problems, and some of his statistics are a bit misleading. So let's just talk about his abilities and their problems, and yeah. His first ability is Mind Control, but it spreads, and it caps out at 4 enemies. You can actually get to 5 enemies, but you need to have max casting speed, and you need to tag all of your targets manually without having the ability spread. And it needs to be done really fast. The amount of enemies you can control is not affected by mods, and this ability also leaves a damaging pillar behind when an enthralled enemy is killed, but it's almost completely indistinguishable from the overshield pillar left behind by his 4th ability. His 2nd ability seems to be Amacia's Watchful Swarm with less than half of the charges, and enemies that hit you with this ability on are stunned, and your 1st ability becomes free on those stunned enemies. However, it does not scale. What does that mean exactly? What this means is if an attack is greater than your EHP, that attack will ignore Mesmer Skin and kill you instead. In other words, Mesmer Skin will not save you from a lethal attack. Unlike Amacia, this rule also applies to self-damage. If that wasn't enough, the ability has an abnormally long cast time, so casting this while you're in danger will almost always get you killed without running max casting speed. This is especially true in nightmare missions. This ability also has decimal charges instead of rounding to a whole number, so instead of having 8 charges, I have 7.8 with only an intensify on. I don't know why that's there, but alright, I guess. His 3rd ability gives you health and shields back when you hit enemies with it, and his 4th ability does good damage at high levels, and it even ignores walls and level geometry, but it's unlikely that you'll survive long enough to get that damage off at those levels. Especially with his unreliable 2nd ability that only really saves him from enemies that rely on sustained damage. Up to a certain level, that is. The damage also increases based on damage taken, encouraging you to take damage. But since you don't get a damage reduction while using this ability, it's pointless. So after all that, what is his best ability? It's actually his 3rd ability. Why is that? Well, his 3rd ability actually does finisher damage equal to 8% of the enemy's health. However, if the target is enthralled, that jumps up to 40%, meaning it kills faster than his 4th ability with just 3 casts. However, this ability has a base damage of 0, meaning that as it scales up, but it also scales down. So while a level 155 enemy takes 3 casts to kill, the same is true for a level 1 enemy. So you'd probably be better off using his 4th ability to deal with trash enemies. This tactic also consumes a lot of energy, so making this tactic actually work, I have to use max efficiency and rage. In my opinion, this is the only thing that keeps him from being a worse version of Nyx, as both Warframe's abilities are similar in nature, as Nyx has multiple ways to mind control. She has an unreliable 2nd ability, she has an ability that makes her damage immune, and she has scaling damage. Though Revenant's potential damage is much higher than Nyx's, but Nyx is way more oriented toward defense. So until Revenant gets a few changes, he's not worth your time right now. If you want a tanky CC character, you're better off playing Rhino, Inaros, or even Gara, as Revenant just isn't there yet. Alright, so in case you still wanted to use Revenant, here's my build. So I'm running max efficiency and max casting speed, because these are musts. Revenant's abilities have synergy, quote unquote, but like you need to combo them a lot, so you're gonna have to use maximum efficiency or like a lot, because you're gonna burn through your energy very quickly. And max casting speed simply because his animations are really fucking slow. While leveling him, I died the most while casting something, and that's why I opted for maximum casting speed. And the reason I have both natural talent and speed drift is because I felt like natural talent by itself was not enough to make a difference, but I felt like both of them together was good. I have vitality for health, obviously. I have a little bit of duration to keep my duration above positive and also offset the negative duration from fleeting expertise. And I have a little bit of power strength, just mainly for my 2, but it's not really reliable, so I'm not going to put a whole lot of power strength in there. And lastly, I have Energy Siphon. You're probably thinking I totally should just use Corrosive Projection here, and that would be actually a bad choice on him. Simply because, well, against armor, his 4th ability does corrosive damage. It doesn't do viral damage against human flesh, okay? And it only does gas damage against infested flesh. So really, you kind of benefit from armor. And even then, you just totally ignore armor with your 3rd ability. So you really don't need corrosive projection at all. Energy Siphon is what I put here because, like I said, he is very energy hungry. So you're going to want to have a lot of efficiency and that there. And the reason I opted for, say, Rage over Prime Flow, for instance, because even with Prime Flow, sure, I had a lot of max energy, but I couldn't, like, in the Simulacrum, I couldn't take out all 20 level 155 heavy gunners with my third ability. And I still run out of energy and still have like 4 or 5 of them left. So that's why I opted for this. And it works pretty well at the lower levels. Anyway, guys, that's all from me. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.